Hello students, today we are going to discuss about suboccipital region. In this video, we are going to learn about the muscular layer in the neck region, suboccipital muscles, boundaries of suboccipital triangle, and contents of suboccipital triangle. First, we can discuss about the muscular layer in the neck region. Then, in the suboccipital region, which is seen between the subocciput and the spine of axis vertebra. There we can see the four muscular layer, which is represented by trapezius. Here we can see the trapezius muscle, splenius capitis muscle. Here the splenius capitis muscle, semispinalis capitis and longissimus capitis muscle. Here the semispinalis capitis and here the longissimus capitis muscles. And for suboccipital muscles and the arteries which is present in the back of neck region are the occipital artery, vertebral or deep cervical artery, third part of vertebral artery, and minute rings from the second part of vertebral artery. These are the arteries which is present in the suboccipital region. Then the suboccipital muscle. Then the another muscle which is called as the rectus capitis posterior minor muscle. Here we can see the rectus capitis posterior minor, which is originated from the posterior tubercle of atlas vertebra, and the first cervical vertebra is called as the atlas vertebra, and where we can see in the posteriorly, where we can see a prominent tubercle, so it is called as a posterior tubercle. From there, the rectus capitis posterior minor muscle is originated, and it is inserted to the medial part of the area below the inferior nuchal line. That means in the between the insertion of rectus capitis posterior minor muscle. So there it is inserted, and they now supply dorsal ramus of C1 and action which helps to extend the head. This is the rectus capitis posterior minor muscle. Then another muscle is called as the the obliquus capitis superior muscle, which is originated from the transverse process of atlas vertebra. Here we can see the transverse process of atlas vertebra, then which give origination of the obliquus capitis superior muscle, and it is inserted to the lateral area between the inferior nuchal line, which is inserted to the lateral area of the between the inferior nuchal line, and which is supplied by the dorsal ramus of C1 and action which helps to extend the head and flexes the head laterally. That's the action of obliquus capitis superior muscle. Another muscle it is called as the obliquus capitis inferior muscle. Here we can see the obliquus capitis inferior muscle, which is originated from the spine of axis vertebra, which is originated from the second cervical vertebra, from the axis vertebra, and it is inserted to the transverse process of atlas vertebra. The obliquus capitis inferior, which is inserted to the transverse process of atlas, and the obliquus capitis superior is originated from the transverse process. That's the difference. Then which nerve supply by the dorsal ramus of C1 and action which helps to turn the chin into same side. And we are going with the boundaries of this triangle. Here we can see the muscles which is associated with it. Supromedially, which is related with the rectus capitis posterior major muscle, and the muscle which is supplemented by the rectus capitis posterior minor muscle. We can see two muscles which is on the medially or supromedially. That muscles are the rectus capitis posterior major, and which is supplemented by the rectus capitis posterior minor muscle, and the supralaterally, which is bounded by the superior oblique capitis muscle, and the inferior oblique capitis muscle, or superiorly or supralaterally by the obliquus capitis superior, or inferiorly by the obliquus capitis inferior muscle. Here we can see the triangular shaped area. It is called as the suboccipital triangle. And supromedially, which is by the rectus capitis posterior major and the rectus capitis posterior minor muscles, and supralaterally by the obliquus capitis superior muscle, and inferiorly by the obliquus capitis inferior muscle. Then the roof is formed by on medially dense fibrous tissue which is covered by the semispinalis capitis muscle. Then the floor, then laterally by the longissimus capitis, occasionally by the splenius capitis muscle. We already mentioned that what are the muscles and where it is located. And the floor, and here we can see that the posterior arch of atlas, let's say brown colored area is there, a light brown colored area is there, and just below this red colored curved structure. So that area is called as the posterior arch of atlas vertebra, and the posterior atlanto-occipital membrane is there. Then just above that, we can see the atlanto-occipital membrane, the posterior part of the atlanto-occipital membrane is there. Then we are going to learn about the contents. First, we can see the third part of vertebral artery is there. Third part of vertebral artery. Here we can see the third part of vertebral artery, and the dorsal ramus of C1 and the suboccipital nerve also. Here we can see that. Then suboccipital plexus of vein. These are the major contents. And we are going into the detailed study of the contents. Then we can see that the dorsal ramus of the C1 vertebra, which is emerges between the posterior arch of atlas and the vertebral artery, and soon it is breaks up to branches which supplies for suboccipital muscles and the splenius or semispinalis capitis muscle. The nerve to the inferior oblique, which gives off and communicating branch of the greater occipital nerve, and suboccipital plexus of vein, which lies in around the suboccipital triangle, and it is drains the muscular veins, occipital veins, internal vertebral venous plexus, and condylar emissary vein. These are the venous drainage or veins which is associated with the that are the contents of suboccipital triangle. This is the suboccipital plexus of vein. These are the structures where we are detailedly studying in the suboccipital triangle. Thank you.